Welcome to another episode of the Night Audit with your host, Chaze Barnes. If it's your first time being here, please hit your second hand clap. If it's your second or third time being here, fourth, fifth time being here, also please hit your second hand clap. Okay. All right. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing great. Awesome. Well, I'm doing sensational. I had a workout today. Also had a Zoom meeting as well. So I'm trying to make this quick as well. I've been trying to I was thinking around behind the scenes. I'm still trying to work on how to properly share my stream. Should we share my stream? We gonna get right into it. We gonna talk about car notes. Why do people got high car notes? We're gonna talk about car insurance. Maybe we're gonna talk about car notes today in tonight's episode. Okay. So please bear with me. I was working on some stuff and I just was like, oh, different time. It's cool. I need to go ahead and get recorded. Okay. So the question is that I put here is, all right, what is the average car note or car payment in America? Anybody know the answer? Anybody? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, we're gonna find out. Okay, says the average car note is $748 per month as of 2025. Auto loan payments average around $748 per month for new cars. I'm sorry, $532 per month for used cars. You may pay more or less depending on 7 factors, including your credit profile, down payment amount, long term, and more. Okay, so I can let you in on a little secret. Okay, I told you in my last video, I hated car notes. I couldn't stand them because people were paying way too much for car notes, for cars, way too much. And this was before I started reading the Dave Ramsey book, The Total Money Makeover. And since then, so do I have a car note? Yes, I'm glad you asked. How much my car note is? Well, I'll be transparent. My car note is it's 183 a month. And it's actually 162. I actually got it paid until August. Because again, we over here at the night audit, we're trying to audit the math. We got some tribal math that we got to fix, which I'm going to hit y'all with that video towards the end of May. Okay, because it ain't looking too good right now. And hopefully we can improve those numbers by the end of May. But anyway, so how did I get my car note down to that amount? Now, like I said in my previous video, when I talk about my auto collision video, my car note, when it came to me looking for cars, whatnot, it was all about really how much I can afford. Can I afford the monthly payments? And I didn't want to be personally stuck with something for too long. And plus, it was in a pandemic. It was uncertainty about jobs, income, and a lot of the things. I mean, I know that it was a run of the mill when it came to cars, used cars, new cars. I mean, inventory. People was buying up cars. That's right. People buying cars they didn't have. Speaking about the PPP loans and stuff like that. But we're not going to get into that. We'll audit that another time. But speaking strictly on car notes, because that is a wealth killer. And it can eat up half your budget. Okay. Because you gotta think, if they're saying that the average is $748 a month, people are paying way more than that. People are paying $1,000 or more. Okay. Now, if we do real quick for housing, let's see, average mortgage payment. Let's see. Approximately $23.29. It says the average monthly mortgage payment in the United States is in 2025 is approximately $23.29. You guys should be able to read this and follow along. This figure represents an increase of 1924 and 2023. So 2 years ago, or 3 years ago now, but 2 years ago at the time of this information that came out by Rocket Mortgage. And additionally, the average payment can vary based on type of mortgage with a 30-year fixed rate, averaging 27, 15, with a 15 fixed rate, 35, 15. Now, the only reason why we're not talking about mortgages. Well, people have mortgages, people have rents, people have rents is equating this number, and also have mortgages that is equaling this number as well. I want to use that. So bear in mind. So again, if you're paying 1,000 plus on, okay, and maybe, and it could be your wife's car, your car, whoever, right? Baby mama car, side chick car, whatever. Okay. First of all, you need to do the budget, and you need to not budget for side chicks, and you need to not budget for girlfriends. Okay. You need to budget for you or your wife or together. Anyway, leave the hoes alone. So that scares me. So again, but people are paying 1,000 plus in auto and not including car insurance. So car insurance. So okay, well, while we here, so what is the average car insurance? I know it's vary by region to region. So you know, if you are in this part of the country, this number will, okay, well, it doesn't mean anything. Annually, okay, annually is $22.93 annually. About on par. Okay. Or $191 a month. Now I know it varies. I know it varies from place to place and zip code to locale. It's best there's a rule of thumb to keep in mind. I think for Dave Ramsey and them, I think they had like a 30% rule. You don't want this stuff taking up no more than 30% of your income. Maybe if you can get it down lower than that, great. So for me, at the time when I had my car, and just speak on me for a second, when I got my first car, and it was very paramount because of the world. I mean, didn't know what the rest of 2020 at that time was going to be like and move forward. So for me, and I was also geared up to make a move. I was also geared up to move. I was decreasing a roommate, and also was decreasing roommates and also decreasing rooms. So I was going to have 2 rooms, still have 3 roommates, but we weren't going to only have 4. But anyway, so for me, it was very, very crucial, very paramount that I can get something that I can afford to pay 2, 3 times over. Now, did I still have my student loans? Yes, I was actually paying my student loans, but I was actually paying more to the car. It was more important for me to get the car paid off, because if I were to just owe anybody and just I already have a singular focus on paying the student loans than trying to split my attention on student loans cars. I'm not saying you can't do that, but if I'm paying the car, obviously the car is the lease, student loans are more, so I was going to pay more to the lease, to the thing that costs the least amount. I can figure out how to pay student loans back at a later time. I can pay a little bit here, chip away, but the car note had to go. And I kept with my car insurance. I think my car insurance, I've always paid a lump sum, or I paid it up for the full 6 months. And even like now, I've paid a lump sum to get it going, and I would just pay the difference over time. So by the time my car insurance do not renew, after it runs from May to November and November to May. So if you think about that, you'd be like, wait, it runs from Q2 through Q3, and then Q3 to 4 back to 2. So it just, winter, spring, fall, winter, spring and summer. But anyway, so again, it was very crucial for me because, again, even though it was getting extra money, even though extra money was coming in, I just didn't want to be stuck with a car note for a long time. Now, like I said, I paid my car off under 3 years. It is quite costly to do it. Now, I also figured what I took into account was how much car can I afford, just like housing. So when I go look for housing, whether it be looking for an apartment for myself, or like Splash right here, or I'm going looking for a house. It's all about how much house can I afford. A lot of us get caught up in the monthly payments, but it's how much you can afford. It's the maintenance, the cost, the insurance, taxes, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the same. I would say I would just reverse engineer everything, right? Not say you can't get the house, not think you can't get a decent sized house, and you can't get a decent sized car. And, you just got to bear in mind is just, hey, get what you can afford right now. Okay. Get what you can afford right now. And then, put aside anything to build towards the next thing. So don't rush into it. So for me, I was like, okay, I know I'm going to get another car in the future. And hopefully that I'll be able to just outright pay cash. My goal is to pay for my next car. If I can, pay cash for it. Now, if I got to find myself doing a car note, I'd rather pay as much of the car down as I can. So I don't want to be stuck with the payments. And also, I can, if it's we're 2026, let's say if I'm driving to 2026 and 2030 or 2032, and it's got less than 30,000 miles on there, I wouldn't be. It's not even a 10-year-old car. So a lot of my car, I would say 5 years, within 5 years. So, I know a lot of people say, well, Chaz, well, everybody just ain't got it like that. Everybody don't have it like that. Well, listen, that is true. Okay. Two things be true at the same time. But we have to make room for the things. I know people live in places where they don't need a car, but for the ones that do need a car, that has to have a car, that the job is a little further out. You might have a big house downtown, business over here, whatever the case may be. So, cars aren't going to go nowhere. What I would say is if you are in the market for shopping for a car, I would say again, if it's $30,000, 35,000, so to speak, I would say if you say, hey, I'm going to buy a car in the next 2 years, would they have $35,000 cars? Would they have $25,000 cars? Yes, they would. They be good running. I would say just start putting away a sizable down payment if you can. Start putting down a sizable down payment because you want to get rid of the car as fast as you can because it's a depreciating asset. Okay. It's a depreciating asset. Unless you're going to buy 4, 5, 6 different cars. Okay. Well, I only got to worry about the insurance. Registration and insurance at that point. And, okay, you might a little maintenance here and there. But make sure if it's something you can afford. So you can, if you can make money for everything else, again, like I mentioned earlier of this video, then do so. Make room for it. So can you get the car you want? Yeah, we don't drive the car you want, but can you afford it? That's the defect. So even the car I drive now, it was the same deal. Now, unfortunately, of course, I lost my last car in an accident. And so it was very paramount for me that whatever the insurance company gave me and whatever I had to put what I had saved up just off GP, I want to put as much as I can down on that car. So I'm not financing that long. Okay. I can figure out how to get my money up. I can figure out how to save some money or put extra down, work over. But I got a car that has a lot of equity in it, and I can pay off as quickly as I can. And I got a paid for car that's not even 10 years old. Okay. So I would say, be intentional. Don't just be rusty. Don't say, what? I want that BMW. I want that S-Class. You can get it, but can you afford it? Already in a position right now to afford it. That's the key thing to all this, because again, these numbers, listen, oh my goodness. We can look at videos, but just this number, this alone, $740. Now, so some people are like, oh, I can do that. I can, okay, you can, then you really far fast you can. So this money could be allocated to housing, or in this case, like some of us, if it's student loan debt you have to pay, you can just roll this over into the debt payment, to the snowball method, which we'll get into another video on that one, and just knock it out, and then boom, boom, you're done. But I just don't believe that no one should not. I believe no one should be having about as much auto as much as their housing. No auto should match your housing. If your auto match your housing, We need to seriously take a look at some things. Oh, when people tell me, "Oh, I paid $800 in this," or or $800 in car insurance, or $500 in car note, I just be like, "Whoa, really?" Because again, I pay less than that. Now, I'm not doing nothing that no one can't do. Because if what people say to me, "Well, Trey, everybody can't do that." Well, I'm not doing nothing that no one can't do. I'm not doing anything like, maybe special. Maybe it may seem to be like innovative, whatnot. But I just figured that if you're gonna tackle some car notes, if you're gonna be dealing with car notes here and there, try to get as much of down payment down. Get as much down payment as you possibly can. Like I was talking about this earlier before I worked out, and I know we like to use numbers and stuff like that. And I don't know if I can. Let's see. Uh, how much? How much car should someone who, oh, who, I'm just saying 150, I'm just saying 150K. More or less after tax. I know y'all like to use, how a year. How much car should someone, how much car someone should afford a year? Now, again, you understand that you're not always guaranteed to make 150 in a year, but just so 20% down on the car, 10% in the roll, financing more than 4 years is 48 months. Total car costs, loan payment, insurance, fuel, maintenance under 10% of grossly monthly income. So a conservative budget says maximum total car. You might say, "Oh, Chaz, but $1,250 a month." Now again, like I said, somebody's making $150,000 a year, and that's a conservative budget. Now they say comfortable budget, 1,500, right? And a budget stretches it a little bit. You want to get your Porsche or something like that. You might 1875. Now again, it's insane. You could drive whatever you want to drive, okay? But you gotta understand, you're not guaranteed to make $150,000 a year, unless you're trying to find a way to generate $150,000 extra. So you're not relying, that you're not relying on the main income, okay? But even if you say, okay, it says later limits. It says maybe slightly higher prices, but this puts your debt income ratio to a limit. Case finance is true. Income, fuel costs varies from car type, driving habits, location, budget more for higher end or performance vehicles. Maintenance for luxury vehicles or high mileage cars that can be significant over time. Keep that in mind. So bottom line, it says if you want to keep your car costs under 10% of your income, aim for a car under $35,000. And that's the number that I had said earlier. I said, try to get, if you want to play around the down payment, try to get $25,000 down. And at that point, you got what, 5,000? My math is right, $5,000 up. And it says, well, comfortable range 4,500. You might scrape you for about 4,570. But I would say, if you're gonna, I would say start with 35 and quickly do that, and then maybe you can quickly, and after that you can quickly get up 20% down for 45,000, or you may be able to just pay it off, just pay it up front. So it's not that you can't get the $70,000 car. It's not that you can get $45,000 car, because again, you're not guaranteed the salary. I just use that number as an example. And also, I know that with there are longer loan limits. And I understand why, because it's like, hey, well, I want my payments to be lower. I get it, right? I understand that. But you pay a lot over time. So if you're going to go that route, just hunker down and throw extra money to it and double up on those low payments. Sometimes what I do 10% on top of what the principal amount is. And I know that might, that's little, 10% on top of what, like that, like I said, my 183, or if you pay 202 or 270, whatever the number is, that adds up because, dude, you're trying to knock down the loan organization and you're trying to knock out the interest. You're trying to throw as much you can to the principal. Okay, it's some going to go to the interest, which you want a lot of it to go to the principal amount. If you do so, you're winning. You're winning. You are winning out here in these streets, man. Whew. If you are finding this informative and valuable, hit the like button. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what your, tell me what your thoughts is on this. I'm trying to pin the question in the top of the chat, but tell me what your thoughts is. Tell me what your card Odyssey journeys have been like. Because I know we all probably making driving now. Some of us may be driving the cars that we've been long coveting. We're starting to kind of get into that space where we're starting to kind of drive the cars that we've longed for a very long time. So we're putting a little bit more attention into it. I know me, for mine, I'm definitely doing a lot of attention in that. But I'm also keeping in mind that I want the car paid off. It's nice to put the bells and whistles on there, but I don't want to put the bells and whistles on there, and I still have to be financing this car. I don't want to be doing that, and I don't want you to be doing that as well. It's possible. So yeah, but yeah, my general rule of thumb is just try to put as much as you can down on the down payment, and if you are going to do longer amounts to lower the payment, just keep in mind. I mean, like some of us are in that $150,000 range or $200,000, whatever it is. Just a car should be last thing you should be trying to make payments on, because if your housing is already up there. I mean, at this point, again, the number is going to make it, like I said in my travel map episode, the math is the math. I've always tell people, I say, your numbers is your numbers. You still need a budget, okay? Your budget gives you permission to spend money. So I make $150,000 a year. Okay. But which one are you going to jack your likes up to $150,000 a year? So you don't think life can happen? You think you're bulletproof? You think you're invincible? Nah, I doubt it. So you got to be conservative. The goal, one of the things, and I'll deep dive on this a little bit more. The goal is to do what you need to do today so you can have a longer runway to do what you want to do. Okay, I know a lot of folks here. I know the thing is, I'm take birthdays, take a vacation here and there. Yeah, but you got to listen. Minimize that as much as you can. Do what you need to do. I mean, if you got to move, listen, get a roommate, you got to move back to your parents, listen, load the car, whatever it is you got to do. I mean, you're going to generate extra income. You're going to make more money. You're going to figure it out. Okay. But do what you don't have that locked down. You want to live once. Yes, right. That is right. But I want to have a longer runway to do what I want. Okay. I don't want to be struggling to do what I need to do. I will my blessings on the back end. I mean, I thank God for my promotion. Thank the Lord. Oh, yes. But guess what? There's more to come. And understanding that I'm blessed, I'm not saying I won't treat myself to things, but also I want to make the longer run. I want to make sure that I have a longer runway for my family. Okay. You don't want to be, up in age with that. And I know I posted like, well, you don't want, yeah, it's true, but you don't want to do what you want today, and then you are half-assing it in your sunset years. And you're like, yeah, I lived it up, yeah, but your teeth jacked up, your health is in bad shape, your core intake, you got one foot in the grave because you did what you want to do instead of doing what you need to do first. So you can have a longer runway, do what you want to do. Okay. So I hope y'all found it very informative. Let me know that when we do some more deep dives on this stuff. I know I probably will do on this or whatnot. Hopefully y'all see my stream, my stream, excuse my accent. But yeah, to the next time. Let me see. Ooh, okay. Okay. All right. To the next time, peeps. Peace out. Be on the lookout for this video.